Hello there again, guys. It's been a while since I made a video. I've changed my channel name, and it's been over a year since I relapsed on benzos. So I thought, well, it's time to make a video. Actually, it's been 13 months. But I didn't really have the motivation to make a video for some reason at 12 months. So let's just treat this as a year. But yeah. So there's a few things that I kind of wanted to talk about with regards to benzodiazepine recovery. I'm feeling kind of okay. Like today I feel good, which is interesting because like usually I don't feel as good, so I can tell that I'm getting better, like for real this time. Like sometimes, I don't know, you feel like it, but you're not. It's kind of hard to work out. People call it waves, I don't know. Yeah, but it's rare that I kind of believe that I will actually be 100% free from the history of benzos. Like, even at a year, you kind of feel a bit like, oh, you still have some symptoms and stuff like that sometimes, even if they're not that bad. Like, they're not really that bad for me, like, apart from the anxiety, but the anxiety was always there. I don't know, it's kind of amplified. It's kind of hard to explain. I won't get into it, but for me, there's just a few things that I wanted to talk about. And that's exercise. People probably tune out when they hear that in benzo withdrawal because you don't want to exercise and you say to yourself, well, I can't. And that may be true to some extent. Like at first you kind of can't because you're either too anxious to exercise or it screws you up, it increases your adrenaline too much, and then when you come off benzos, your body's not used to dealing with the increased sort of levels of excitatory neurotransmitters, I guess. You can't really deal with the adrenaline and the surge in sort of, the changing sort of chemistry in your body, the increased awareness that you get with exercise. You can't really deal with that in benzo withdrawal. But what I've noticed is that how long you wait in benzo withdrawal doesn't really matter. Like it's not the only ingredient to recovery. Like there's more than one ingredient. And you can't just bake a good pie with one ingredient. but yeah, like you need more than one thing, and you can't really just recover with time. And a lot of people in recovery videos, they say, oh, just give it time. And what I'm saying is, no, time alone isn't going to make you feel better. All that's going to do is just frustrate you. You're going to, because you're not going to be making the recovery that you could. That's what I did for a long period of time as well. And it doesn't help. It does to an extent, but you're never going to be as good as if you actually did things to recover with your diet and with your exercise and with meditation and all these different things. Kind of can have a bigger impact than just time alone. Rather than just relying on time. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't for me anyway. Like, all that time did for me before is cause me to relapse. Like, it didn't help. And this advice about time and giving it time just doesn't help. Or maybe it does for some people. But to be realistic, for me, I think it's better to say, well, you know what, you have to do something yourself. And the more you do those things yourself, the more discipline you gain and the more strength you gain, which is important in benzo withdrawal because you've lost those values. You lose those values. You have to relearn them. Benzos, to be truthful, make you lazy. They make you forgetful. They make you, you regress. And so you have to learn these things along the way. And that's what I've learned, is that you have to start doing things yourself. And really, and if you didn't have these values before, which kind of I didn't, then congratulations. Benzos you've got a profit from benzos. Through all that horror and terror you experienced, you've come out of it with positive things, which is kind of the best part of it. You can have more discipline coming off benzos than the people that haven't. It's kind of never really thought about it like that, but it's kind of like benzos have given you an experience that other people don't have, and you've become better for it. That's the ultimate thing that I think everyone in benzo withdrawal should strive for, is to become better than you were before. Because if you can do that, you beat it. You fucking beat it. And all that suffering, all that craziness and terror, and all the hospital visits and the lost families and the lost friends and all these different things become worth it. Or maybe not worth it, but yeah, sorry. Anyway, so when I started exercising, which I didn't start exercising at all, for the record. Just to be clear, it wasn't like I woke up and just ran outside, no way. But I started out, I think I mentioned this in the past, I started out 2 hours or something. No, sorry, wow, no. Sorry, my benzo brain's kicked in. 2 minutes. 4 or 5 days a week on an exercise bike. Now 2 minutes kind of sounds really crazy and dumb, why would you do that? Well, I wasn't doing it for the amount of time. I was doing it for the consistency. I was doing it to prove that I could even do it for 2 minutes without having some kind of breakdown or something. I don't know. But at the end of the day, once I'd succeeded in those 2 minutes, I felt like I hadn't failed. I felt like even though it was only 2 minutes, at least you've done it. At least you've stuck to your schedule. And at least you know how your body reacts to even those 2 minutes. And you can keep on going from there. I went from 2 minutes to 3 minutes to 4 minutes to 5 minutes. Then I increased the intensity. Now I'm at 12.5 minutes times 2 to 3. So I do about 30 to 40 minutes of exercise, very light intensity exercise, 6 days a week, 5, 6 days a week. 2 of the days I do a little bit less, and 4 of the days I do a little bit more, and there's 1 rest day. But yeah, basically what I'm saying is, for me personally, I couldn't just start exercise. People say to you, oh yeah, you're in Benzodiazepine, or exercise. Some people say. Some people don't. They say time. But some people say, oh, so, start exercising. It's well, I can't do that. The idea of it is daunting, how do I do that? When you can't even, sometimes you can't even eat properly, or you can't go outside properly, or, all these different things. So, yeah, for me, the exercise was key. But just for the record, I still class myself as in recovery. I'm 13 months since I relapsed. And yeah, I don't really have any severe symptoms, I don't think. No, I don't. But I'm still definitely recovering in other ways. I'm still relearning, and I still struggle with certain things. I still struggle with some things. I still struggle with anxiety, and I still struggle with a few other things. But But yeah, I'm much more further than I was when I was much more further than in early recovery, of course. In early recovery, I wouldn't leave the house for weeks. I gained weight. Since then, I've gone from 100 kilos to 87, so I've lost 13 kilograms doing the light exercise and eating better. Apart from that, I do like 10 to 15 minutes of meditation a day. Meditation can help if you do it. I mean, there's no right way, but if you mindfulness meditation, using apps like Headspace and stuff like that, if you're new, is a good way to start. I think people in benzo withdrawal have forgotten how to be calm, and that sounds like that sounds a bit, if you've never been addicted to benzos, that sounds like a crazy thing to say, like how can you forget to be calm? That doesn't make any sense. But it kind of does. In benzo, people that have used benzos can forget things that that we kind of never thought about, like things that are sort of subconscious in a way, maybe. And so it helps to learn how to be calm again, so that you can be calm. Like, and that sounds so obvious, but yet it's so many people just don't understand it and don't do it, and you need to do it. You can't just say, oh well, I'll do it, and then not do it, because then by the very definition you haven't done it. And it's like all these obvious things get missed. So yeah, be truthful to yourself. Like, you can't just lie to yourself and be like, yeah, I'm doing this, and then not do it, and then wonder why you're not recovering. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, you know why you're not recovering if you're not recovering. Like, or maybe you don't know, but you kind of do. I don't know. I mean, yeah. I guess different people experience different things at different times, and sometimes you feel like you don't know, I guess. Yeah, you do. That's definitely true, because benzo withdrawal is confusing. But if you stick to these things, and you stick to them for a long time, something will happen. Like, you're not going to be the same as you were before. Something will happen. And you just have to sort of keep on going. There's a lot of times where I didn't believe that I would recover. For a long time, I didn't believe that I would ever recover. I thought that the idea of recovery was just a pipe dream. Like, it was just something that people tell me, but maybe that's just them. I'm not going to recover. That's not me. Like, I've gone too far. Like, I'm not going to recover. They got lucky. But yeah, I mean, you have to sort of have a little bit of faith and then keep on going with your actions. You have to apply your actions to your faith and keep on going, even when you don't believe that you can. Even if you don't believe you can, just keep on doing the actions and keep on going, and with time and the actions, there will be a result. So there's some other changes that I've been trying to make and I can't make. They're difficult. Like going keto is allegedly really good for maybe good for people that have used benzos. I get quite anxious when I'm going into ketosis, so I find it very difficult to stick to. If anyone has any advice on that, I'd love to hear it. Or I'd love to hear any stories about keto and benzodiazepine. I know there's a few people that have done it that I'm subscribed to on YouTube. people that have recovered. So that's all I really wanted to say. I got to 13 months, and if you're at the beginning of your journey, you could too, I guess. There's no reason why you couldn't. If I can do it, anyone can. And the thing is, once you've been through it, you kind of feel like you should help other people. Like, I feel like I feel like I have to, even though I probably don't. You can't. I find it difficult to go through an experience that powerful and not help other people that are in it, because it is the worst thing you could ever go through. And it's so misunderstood by society. So few people understand it. And so it's up to the people that do understand to step up and do more. And there's also the fact that, you can turn it into a good thing, I believe. And I believe that I'm doing that now. And I believe that anybody that is in the same situation can do as well. So, anyway, I hope you're all well, and thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you enjoyed the video, or you have any questions, or you'd like to talk about your experience.